We be live. Hi everyone. How you doing? Make sure you like the stream right away. I'm not even gonna make any other, getting right into it. I'm gonna ask you to like the stream right away at the beginning of the stream because at the beginning of the stream is important. I have found a series of videos, thanks to Dolly, by the way, who does the research for us on what videos for me to show you. And I found a woman, this lady here. We're gonna watch her videos. It's amazing. This is basically everything that this channel is trying to highlight in one person. Okay, so but guys, please make sure that you like the stream, and also just like I don't know how to pronounce your name, Levantix, who has confirmed that they have liked the stream. Please also mention in the live chat that you have liked the stream. Michael is saying Alhamdulillah. Okay, Nico is saying like. Great, guys. The more you like, the more YouTube is going to gather people from around YouTube that they're watching right now, and it's going to make them watch this video. Okay, and what we need more subscriber on this channel because there's a virus. There's a Islamic. Again, YouTube might think I'm saying something else. So there's something. There's an idea spreading across Western liberal countries, and it's going to cost us a lot if we don't fight back against it. And I need you guys to make this channel, which is one of the weapons against this ideology, stronger by liking it. Okay, because we are making this channel is very good when it comes to giving you the equipment that you need to be able to fight this ideological battle. Because a lot of other channels are just like, oh, this is bad, oh, deport. They don't have real solutions. They don't have the pushback, the arguments, the logic that you need to fight against the spread of this ideology. And I think this channel is doing a very good job to not just to show you the threat, but also to equip you with the arguments that you need to be able to push back both from a rational perspective, but also emotional, because this is an emotional battle. If you're only focusing on the rational, you're not going to be very well equipped. This is a battle of identity, national identity versus a religious identity, and therefore personal identities are emotional. So you have to also talk about the emotions as well. Anyways, so let's talk about this woman and what she has to say. I found her. Let's give credit where credit is due. The TikTok channel is Lady Carolyn. Oh no, Carly John. Anyways, I will just put the name. I don't know how to pronounce it. Wait, how do I? Here, I'll just show her on the screen. I'll just show her account on the screen so that you can see where she is from. Okay, this is her account, right? This is her account, and as you can see, this video by itself has gotten 262,000 likes. 262,000 likes, meaning, let me see how many views it got. 2,300,000 views. Which shows there's a huge demand for white women becoming Muslim. Huge demand. There's this, and the fact that there's such a huge demand for it will make more white men and women convinced that, yeah, okay, I mean, people like attention. Hey, wait, Alfred is here. Alfred is gonna be highlighting your comments. The D is saying, geez, yeah, exactly. Let's see what I have 4 videos for us to watch. Let's see what she said in this first video that was deserving of 2 million views and almost 300,000 likes. And the comments also. Guys, let me know, do you want to review the comments as well to see how people reacted to this? Because I could show you the comments as well. Anyways, let's watch this. How many minutes? This first video is 3 minutes, so we'll watch it through and through without pausing, and then we will respond to it. Okay. To be honest, I haven't watched all the 4 videos because I wanted to have the raw reaction here. Oh, Sid just gave us a super chat. Sid, thank you so much. Sid is saying white females advocating Islam is their dream. It is. It is. Especially with blue eyes. Okay, that is like peak whiteness for them. This is peak whiteness. Okay, and the more white that you are, especially with blue eyes, if you have blonde hair, blue eyes, and white skin, then that's it. That's like the only way it could get better if you're famous. Then that's it. That's the wildest dream coming true. But thank you, Sid, for the super chats. So let's watch this. Oh, should I tell you why white women? Let me know in the live chat if you want me to explain to you why. I mean, it is sexual, obviously, but it's also something else. Why white women? Why white men and white women, but especially white women? Why they're so obsessed with it? Why does this get so? So if she was a black woman, for example, in the UK, if she was a UK citizen, but black, and she said that I'm converting to Islam or I'm Muslim now, it would be, there would be a lot of people, a lot of Muslims will welcome that, but it wouldn't get as near, unless she's famous, but it wouldn't get even close to this much attention. Let me know in the live chat why you think that is. Why do you think that is? Let me know in the live chat, and Alfred maybe will star your comments and I will read them. So let's see what she has to say. I will say nothing until this is over.
Britain is being taken over by Muslims. My country needs to go back to the way it was. What are you actually scared about? Let me tell you something. Muslims don't like porn. They don't like violence. They don't like drinking. What happens in your family households at every point of the year where you get together when you start drinking? Tell me that. Leave it in the comments. What happens in our British drinking culture when we get together and drink? Oh, wait. Muslims don't like cheating around. The no sex before marriage. Tell me, if you're a British woman, especially if you're working class, tell me if you've ever been cheated on. Oh, wait. And then tell me if you like that. Do you like that about our culture? Do you like our men not having any faith? Do you like dating men who don't pray? And men that you cannot lean on when there is severe stress in the family or in your life? A man that doesn't say, don't worry, God has got you, let's pray on it. Where has that got you? How has your relationships been? How much therapy have you had to do because of the relationships you've been through? Oh, wait. Muslims don't like gambling. Do you like it when your wife or your husband or your friend gets addicted to gambling and then wastes all of your money and you end up in a hellhole and you have to start again? Muslims promote monogamy and staying together forever. Tell me, would you like that as a woman? Or would you prefer to keep doing what you've been doing forever? Muslims are clean. It would be a clean country, great hygiene, if more Muslims keep growing in your neighbourhood. Or would you prefer to live with your neighbours who have really been full of beer cans every weekend? Is that what you want? To keep Britain being about British? Did you know white people can be Muslim? Did you know that terrorism has nothing to do with Islam itself? It isn't Islamic, and you're not a Muslim if you do that sort of shit. The stuff that the newspapers report on to give us a really bad view of Islam. All Muslims would agree that these terrorists are not Muslim. They are not practicing the faith. You and we have all been brainwashed by British propaganda, BBC, British shitting company. That's what it stands for. Your children would be safer in a highly populated Muslim area. Or are you still under the illusion that white non-Muslim people don't do violent things towards people and children and wives and girlfriends and friends and sisters and mothers? That godless men don't produce violence in this society? Open your mind.
Open. Oh my God. Open your mind, guys. Oh my God. How do I even, I don't know even, I don't even have, what? No. Okay. Shit. How do I even start? Where do I even start? I don't even have to. I have 3 other videos from this woman. I think it will take 10 hours just to respond to this. 2 minutes. How would I even start? How do I even start? Where do I begin? What? Oh, I've never heard this much nonsense in 2 minutes. This is a record. This is an absolute record on this channel. There has never been a video that I reviewed that has managed to pick this much untruth, in this much lies, this much falsehood packed into 2 minutes. It's insane. I don't even know if I should. What? How do I? Oh my god! And it's not just her, guys. This is not just one person. If you look at the comments, if you look at the people who support this, if you look at the fact that it got almost 300,000 likes and more than 2 million views, if you look at 13,000 comments supporting this, this showed that this is a lot of people think this. A lot of people think this. This is why the Islamic disease is spreading. I touched the mic. Did we get disconnected? No, we're good. How's my audio? Okay, so I guess I have to go mention all the obvious and respond to everything you said. Guys, please like the stream. Look how much it's not that hard to research this. It's not that hard to understand that all of this is false. Guys, make sure you subscribe to this channel because we've shown the Quranic verses and the hadith that shows everything she's saying is false. I'm just going to respond to each one of them, right? And this time, instead of just showing you why she's wrong, I will teach you how to figure this out yourself. Okay, right? So let's go.
Britain is being taken over by Muslims. My country needs to go back to the way it was. What are you actually scared of?
All right, so guys, let's also, if somebody says Britain is being taken over by Muslims, don't use that line. Don't use that line because it's not a easy line. If you make claims that are seem exaggerated, then it's going to be hard for you to defend it. We already have the upper hand. The other side, the Islamic arguments and the people who are defending it, they're making ridiculous points. So don't give them an easy claim for them to rebut. If you say Muslims are taking over, then they're going to be easily show. It's going to be easy for them to show that you're being ridiculous. Don't say that taking over, right? Say the influence of Islamic religion in my country is way too much, and these horrible bad ideas are becoming mixed in the traditions and the values that this country holds, and it has a hugely negative influence and impact. Okay, because if you say that, then that's so much easier to defend. Say the country is paying a heavy cost because of these other horrible, backwards, barbaric ideas that are being mixed with our superior values that has made our countries great. And this is going to have a huge cost for our country and our future generations. That is going to be such an easier position to defend than, oh, Muslims are taking over. Like they will just show you stats and be like, shut up, you're an idiot, you're a far right, bigoted loony, and they will just easily be able to dismiss you and use you as an example of why people like us should not be taken seriously. So yeah, this is a straw man. That's not the position we're holding. By the way, I see more super chats. I will read the super chats after I finish this first video. So thank you guys for the super chats.
Let me tell you something. Muslims don't like porn. They don't like.
They do, guys. Again, if I go bring every single one of this up, you are going to. This stream is going to take for a whole day, right? So just go look at the fact that in Muslim porn consumption in more religious countries, especially Muslim ones, are higher. When you deny people's natural desires to express themselves sexually and to be active sexually, they are going to have to find the other ways, rely more on other ways to satisfy themselves sexually. And also, the more you control people's sexuality, the more bizarre ways it will manifest itself in the more the more, I don't want to kink shame people, but sometimes harmful ways. Okay, so if you go actually look at, for example, I think the number one country when it comes to porn consumption is Pakistan, right? I mean, even in the United States, if you look at more religious states, they consume more porn than less religious states. But the highest, so in the United States, if you go, the more south you go, the more porn consumption you will have. This is easily, you could find this yourself. This is easily demonstratable. And if you go look at countries, Pakistan has the highest level of porn consumption given, and it's usually more in Islamic countries than non-Islamic countries. So there's that. So Muslims don't like porn. Where are you getting this from? Like, did you bother to check this for 10 seconds before claiming it? Probably not. Why am I even asking this?
They don't like violence. They don't like drinking.
They don't like violence. I laughed when she said that. Muslims don't like violence? All right, so here's the thing. I don't want to generalize. She generalized. I'm not going to generalize. Okay, so obviously when you say Muslims don't like, no matter what you say, it's going to be wrong. In fact, that's wrong about everybody. Any group of people that is higher than, I don't know, a few hundred, it's really hard for you to make general claims about them. Here's the thing. I would even disagree if somebody says, atheist. I'm an atheist. Atheists don't like violence. What are you talking about? Atheists don't like violence. We have so many atheists. Of course, some of them like violence. Some of them don't. Some of them use violence only when they're defending themselves, like whatever, right? We have so many different kinds. I don't even make that claim about any group of people, let alone Muslims, who on average, so we here try to use words accurately. Would I say in response, Muslims do like violence? No, because I know Muslims who don't like violence. I know Muslims who like violence, okay? But we have to talk about averages. Averages, lady, averages. Don't make general claims about entire group of people, right? But there is more violence on average among Muslims relative to other groups of people. Again, are there many Muslims who don't like violence? Of course there are millions and millions of Muslims there are probably hundreds of them that would faint probably with the first sight of blood. Okay, there are thousands of them cannot even imagine committing violence. Like the hundreds of thousands of Muslims cannot even comprehend committing violence. Like it doesn't even enter their mind. Okay, obviously. So, and there are hundreds of thousands of them that would love to commit violence. There exists both in the Muslims. However, the average level of violence among Muslims is higher than other communities. That is a statistical fact globally. Okay, I'm not talking about like in your country or in that country. Yes, and I'm talking about Muslims and Islam. Here's something else that people don't. She's not careful, and a lot of people on our side are not careful as well. When we're talking about Islam, it's easier to make more general claims because we're just talking about the ideas in the Quran and the Hadith, right? But so it's easy for me to make general claims about Islam. But Muslims, when you're talking about Muslims, that's a different, there are different standards than when you're talking about Islam. So Muslims, they're different. Many Muslims are different from each other. However, Islam itself is absolutely pro-violence, proudly so, extremely pro-violence. So people, the ulama, Islamic scholars, they don't say Islam is not pro-violence. They just try to justify that violence. The argument with Islam is not that whether it's pro-violence or it's against violence. Obviously, Islam is pro-violence. The argument that we have with Islamic scholars is whether or not the violence that Islam advocates is justified violence or unjustified violence. We argue, based on the hadith and the Quranic verses that I showed you, that is absolutely unjustified violence. For example, the hadith and the Quran advocates killing people who are against Islam. The hadith, the sunnah of the Prophet Muhammad advocates my killing. I was a Muslim one day. Now I am not. I'm called a murtad. I'm an ex-Muslim. I'm an apostate. Islam, clearly, all Islamic schools of thought, all four Sunni Islamic school of thought and Shia Islamic school of thought, the Ashari Shia Islamic school of thought, all the main Islamic schools of thoughts, every single one of them teach you it's the Sahih hadith of Prophet Muhammad that somebody like me who used to be a Muslim and then left Islam is supposed to be executed. I've shown you the hadith. I've shown you the hadith. This is, if you cannot separate this from Islam. The Quran itself tells you to crucify the people who take a position against Allah. Crucify them and cut off their hands and feet. It tells you that. Right after the verse that people use to say that Quran is so peaceful, the very verse after tells you to crucify people who take a position against Allah. So what are you talking about? How could you separate these things? The Quran talking about crucifying people and cutting people's hands and feet and cutting the hands of thieves and and lashing people who have committed zina, torturing people for sex out of marriage. How is that anti-violence? Okay, so again, please guys, please be careful. I need you guys to not just make claims that you cannot back up. You cannot say all Muslims are violent. You cannot say that. Muslims are very different from each other. But you can't say all Islam is violent. Try to make claims that you are going to be that you can easily defend, so that they can't, they don't have evidence against you. Islam saying is all Islam is violent is easy because you cannot separate the Quran and the Sunnah from Islam. You cannot separate that from Islam. It's not Islam anymore if you separate that. So the Quran is the main book. The Sunnah, the Islamic teachings come from two sources: the Quran and the Sunnah. The Quran is a revelation from God. The Sunnah is the teachings and doings of Muhammad, the sayings and the way he lived and what he said. And the source of Sunnah is in the Hadith. Okay, and the Sahih Hadith, meaning Hadith that has been authenticated, is Hadith that is part of every Islamic school of thought. Sunni, all four major Islamic schools, Sunni Islamic school of thought, and is inseparable from Islam. So remember that. So let's go. They don't like drinking. Okay, they don't like drinking. Yeah, I will give you that. See, let's be fair here. Muslims, on average, again, she's generalizing. There are Muslims who drink and love drinking, obviously, and they're committing sins as a Muslim. But on average, Muslims don't like drinking. Okay, so I'm going to try to be fair here.
What happens in your family households at every point of the year where you get together when you start drinking?
Yeah, somebody's saying, I know lots of Muslims that drink. Yeah, exactly. But I'm saying, I'm not making general claims. I'm saying on average, Muslims are much, much less in favor of drinking than other people. I don't make general claims. I make average. I make claims about the average. So let me see what Alfred sent me a message. Oh, yeah. So Alfred just went and looked this up. The top 3 most porn watching countries in the world in 2023. India ranks number 3. Oh, no. India ranks 3rd. One is Philippines, Poland, India, Vietnam, Turkey, Saudi, Pakistan, Morocco, Iran, Germany. Okay, so Pakistan is there. So Pakistan is Saudi is number 6. Pakistan is number 7. So the data that I looked a couple of years ago had Pakistan number 1, but here it has Pakistan number 7, Saudi number 6, Turkey number 5, Philippines at number 1. So here's the thing: you have to. So I know what's happening here, Alfred. You have to adjust this per capita because Philippines is number 1, but Philippines obviously have a lot more higher population. We have to adjust this per capita. And is this per capita or is this just the total amount watched? So I have to go look at this. But again, Pakistan and Saudi Arabia and Turkey, they're very high up there. Morocco, they're at least half of the top 10 is Islamic. Anyways, thank you, Alfred, for looking this up. Let's watch watch the rest of this.
And tell me that, leave it in the comments. What happens in our British drinking culture when we get...
Yeah, by the way, the other ones who are high up there are also religious countries. You know, Poland and Philippines, these are very, very Catholic countries, right? So either way, the more religious, the more porn watching you are. The more you try to shame people about having sex, and the more you make sex a taboo, the more likely that it is that you have the higher percentage of addiction to porn you're going to have. If you have a healthy relationship with sex, if you make it normal, then people are going to be, again, not that watching porn is bad. It's just that if you just rely on it, if you're addicted to it, that's the problem. So we're talking, the problem is not watching porn. The problem is porn addiction, right? The people who need porn. If you sometimes watch it just for, like, I don't know, just for fun a little bit, that's completely fine. But for people who just require it to be sexually satisfied, that's the problem. And we have a lot more of that in places among people who have been shamed, among people who that sex has been a taboo. All of that has been studied over and over again, and this has been proven. So let's watch this. Proven is not the right word, but it's justified to believe in it. Anyways, let's watch the rest of this.
What happens in our British drinking culture when we get together and drink? Oh, wait. Muslims...
So regarding drinking, here's the thing. I want to be fair with you, okay? So drinking is not a big of a problem if you do it, in moderation. Okay, it's not it's not an issue with people drinking in moderation. That much of an issue, obviously. We're talking about people who are alcoholic, people who drink too much, and I will give this to you. Okay, we have much more of a drinking problem among non-Muslims than Muslims. How about this? As an anti-Islam activist, I will give you that. But that is nothing compared to all the harm caused by the other things that Islam advocates. I'm not black and white. I'm not going to tell you like, hey, this is, and the way that Islam tries to deal with the situation is not even good. So yeah, sure. Within Muslim communities, we're not going to see as much of a drinking problem as non-Muslim communities. But your ideology is anti-democracy, anti-free speech, anti-liberalism, anti-women rights, anti-LGBT rights, everything that makes societies great. Excuse me if I'm not impressed with your less of a drinking problems. Societies have not fallen because a small percentage of the population has a drinking problem. Nations might fall if they don't believe in civic nationalism, if they don't believe in democracy, if they don't believe in separation of power, if they don't believe in the rule of man-made law, if they don't believe in freedom of speech, if they don't believe in liberal values. These things do make nations fail if you don't believe in this. So, okay, sure, I will give you that. Less of a drinking problem. But I have so much more here that is valuable, much more valuable than your Islam, that makes countries great. UK, does UK have, do we have more of a drinking problem in the UK than in Pakistan? Sure, yeah, yes. There are more people with drinking problems in the UK than Pakistan. Ask yourself this. Would you rather be the UK or would you rather be Pakistan? Would you rather be UK or would you rather be Pakistan? I would rather be the UK. Because there's so much more to life and prosperity and strength than a small percentage of your population having drinking problems.
Don't like cheating around. The no sex before marriage.
They don't like cheating around. First of all, again, this is generalized. Why would you need to cheat around when your wife has no choice but to accept that I can marry another wife? Okay, so Yeah, sure. It's not technically that's cheating. Okay, that is cheating. Okay, so maybe you don't. I mean, it's not cheating in the sense that I'm not tricking you, but it is a betrayal of her love, right? So it's a betrayal of. I mean, it's. I mean, I don't. Even if it's not the whole point of being anti cheating, if you're not in an open relationship, is to keep a relationship healthy. The Islamic way of having relationships is already corrupted to the core. So if we're anti-cheating, we are trying to protect something that is valuable. The relationship between a man and a woman in an Islamic marriage is already so corrupted, so unhealthy that it's already too far gone. Like it's already messed up. It's already ruined. There's nothing here to protect. The problem is from the roots. Okay, so yeah. So they're not gonna. On average, they will cheat less. But what's the point? You already have an unhealthy relationship between a man and a woman.
Wait, Muslims don't like cheating.
I mean, like imagine I could just if I. So here's the thing: as a Muslim, I could just triple talaq. I could just talaq of my wife whenever I want. If I see another woman that is more attractive, if I want her, if I'm more attracted to her, I could just go. I don't have to cheat on you because with no excuses, I could just divorce you on the spot and then go to her, and that's not cheating. That is so much better. That's not cheating, but that is what an improvement. What an improvement. If she wants to divorce me, she has to go through uh, so many. She has to get a whole council involved, and she's probably going to get denied, right? Unless you could prove something that is very hard to prove. But he can divorce her as soon as anytime he wants, when he has heart desires, when he's just tired. I just don't want you anymore. I like her. I want to go with her. And bye bye, goodbye. No excuses. I just want to divorce you. Easy. Islam makes it so easy for you to just leave your wife, right? I mean, technically, you could just marry another woman and have a second or third wife. However, maybe you just don't want this wife anymore. That's okay. Just get rid of her. Go marry her, right? Just talaq this one and go marry her. That is not cheating, but that's not an improvement. You made it worse. You made it worse than cheating.
Don't like cheating around. The no sex before marriage. Tell me, if you're a British woman, especially if you're working class, tell me if you've ever been cheated on. I'll wait. And then tell me if you like that. Do you like that about our culture? Do you like our men not having any faith? Do you like...
Yes, that's an improvement. I do like a country where men and women have less faith. What do you? Yeah, by the way, even if you were into faith, why is Islam the solution? I mean, I'm not into faith. I think faith is a disease, but why not go with Christianity? Why do you think Islam is the solution?
not having any faith? Do you like dating men who don't pray?
You should. Men who don't pray are superior to men who do pray. Woman, do you prefer your men being less delusional? Do you prefer your men not having imaginary friends like children? Do you like that? Do you like that, woman? Tell me, guys, do you like that? Because I think that's better.
And men that you cannot lean on when there is severe stress in the family or in your life.
What unbelievable. Men that could what this is bigotry against non-Muslims. This is bigotry against non-Muslims. This is an insult to UK men. So UK men who are not Muslim, you cannot lean on them, you cannot rely on them. Unbelievable. What an insult. What an insult. Look at this. I'm an anti-Islam activist. I don't say that about Muslim men. I am an anti-Islam activist, and I will tell you there are many, many, many Muslims who are absolutely amazing fathers and absolutely amazing husbands. I will tell you that. Not because they're Muslim, because Islam teaches you not to be that. Okay, because Islam hasn't completely corrupted their mind. Okay, there are millions of Muslim men who are amazing fathers and amazing husbands. I say this as somebody who hates Islam, who's trying to eradicate Islam. Okay, because Muslims are so different from each other. Okay, Islam is a corrupting influence on the human mind, and among many Muslims, their humanity has been not been completely corrupted away, eaten away by Islam. So different Muslims have different degrees of this disease that is called Islam, right? Some people are completely taken over by Islam, like ISIS. Some people, Islam has a minimal impact on them. It's all a negative impact, but it's minimal impact. So I would say this about Muslims, but look at how she's insulting and generalizing non-Muslim UK men as if they cannot be reliable fathers or husbands. Unbelievable. This is so outrageous. Okay, guys, I think I'm going to be able to do only 2 videos, maybe only 1. I don't know, because I have 3 more of these.
A man that doesn't say, "Don't worry, God has got you, let's pray on it."
That is your source of that is the source of strength and reliability. Oh my God! This is why non-religious men are on average are more reliable. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Look at her reason for why Muslim men are better husbands. Hold on. Listen to
Lean
this.
on when there is severe stress in the family or in your life.
Okay, wait, let's go back a little bit. So you say, like, do you like not having a man that you could lean on when there's severe stress in your family or your life? Or do you like to have a husband that says, like, oh, don't worry, we have God, let's pray on it? Wow, amazing. What a reliable husband. He's like, yeah, let's just talk. Let's, instead of dealing with the situation, the source of the problem is stress, let's just say, God will take, don't worry, God will take care of it. Let's pray. That is what you want to lean on? A person that doesn't actually solve the problem, who just go like, hey, let's just talk to my imaginary friend. Don't worry, these problems will just go away. My imaginary friends will handle. That makes it worse. That makes it you relying on something that doesn't exist. That makes your family problems and all the sources of your stress a lot worse, because you're just thinking that an imaginary creature is going to come fix it for you.
Faith. Do you like dating men who don't pray? And men that you cannot lean on when there is severe stress in the family or in your life. A man that doesn't say, "Don't worry, God has got you, let's pray on it."
How is that leaning on somebody? Hey, like, I have some, these are the problems that I'm having. Don't worry, God has your back. You gotta lean on that? A person that doesn't say, like, okay, let's go see what this issue is and fix it. No, don't worry. There's God. Okay. Sure. It's just like, this is basically putting your head in the sand and ignoring that. This is just putting your fingers in your ears and saying, la 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 la. I'm not, the problems don't exist. I just wish that they will go away. This is just wishing, on, you might as well just wish on a magic lamp, rub a magic lamp and just say, like, hey, make these problems go away. What? This is horrible. You're leaning on somebody who relies on magic for your problems to go away? Jesus Christ. Speaking of relying on magic.
Where has that got you? How has your...
Where has that got you? Well, let's look. Let's look. Why are you looking at... Look at where UK is. Look at where United States is. Look at where Canada is. Look at where France is. Look at where Germany is. And look at where Pakistan is. Look at where Iran is. Look at where Bangladesh is. Look at where Saudi Arabia is. Look how Saudi Arabia is getting, might get, I mean, if the Muslims let Saudi Arabia, is improving a little bit these days because it's becoming less Islamic. Look at how the problems in the UK is increasing because of an increase in Islamic values. So yeah, where did that get you? No, where has that got you, UK? I don't know, being one of the most powerful countries on the planet. How about that? Having some of the highest standards of living on the planet, that's where it has gotten us. British values over Islamic values makes us stronger. That's where it has, like, we can empirical. This is not philosophy, guys. We have empirical evidence for this. Okay, this is not rationalism. This is empiricism. Empiricism is superior to rationalism. We have evidence for this. These values work. Your values suck. Your Islamic values suck.
Relationships been? How have your relationships been? Sorry. How much therapy have you had to do because of the relationships you've been through? I'll wait. Muslims don't like gambling. Do you like it when your wife or your husband or your friend gets addicted to gambling and then wastes all of your money and you end up in a hellhole? And you have
So again, this is the same thing, all right? So again, there are Muslims who love gambling, okay? I met some of them, right? So and you should talk about averages, not Muslims don't like gambling. Let me adjust it for you. On average, there's less gambling in Muslims than other people. I will give you that, okay? I will give you that. I'm fair here. But again, this is the same as drinking. This is the non-Muslim population, of this planet. The gambling addiction is a small part of their problem. A small problem that it's not that the Muslim population doesn't have. The Muslim population has a small problem of the non-Muslim world that the Muslim world has a little bit of less of that. But the problems of the Muslim world in other areas is 1,000 times more. 1,000 times more. You know, I don't know what example to give you. I don't know. It's kind of like, hey, I'm gonna cut your hair nicely, right? But I'm also gonna cut your hands and legs, chop them off. And we're like, well, I don't like that. I'm like, well, don't you like having a nicer haircut than this guy next to you? You know, the less having a little bit of a less of a gambling problem or a drinking problem that in the Muslim community. The non-Muslim community is like this. Like, I chopped off your hands, both your hands and your legs, and I give you also a nice haircut. This other person next to you, they don't have a nice haircut. Aren't you better off? Aren't you better off that you have a nicer haircut? That's what this is. This is the example that I just came up with. Let me know if that's a good example. Like, yeah, I guess I like having a nice haircut, but I miss my hands and my legs. I wish I had my hands and legs. I would have given up having a nice haircut. This is what you're doing to a nation. I would have given up having a nicer haircut if I could just keep my hands and legs. Right? So the values that Islam teaches, the values that Islam spreads is so disastrous, it's so horrible that it's not worth what, like in the UK, in America, do we have drinking problems? Sure. What percentage of the population is that? It's not destroying the nation. Gambling problem and drinking problem is not destroying a nation. Islam can destroy nations, but gambling problem and drinking problems, they can't. It's a small percentage of the population that are being influenced by that. Oh, people are saying good analogy. Okay, good.
to start again. Muslims promote monogamy and staying together.
Where do you get that from? I mean, I'm not even. Muslims promote monogamy. Like, this is, I don't even have to go to the Sunnah for this. I don't even have to go to Sunnah. This is the Quran. Muslims promote monogamy? How? Like, this is are you what? How did you get, and then how did you get so many 13,000 comments, many of the Muslims saying like, oh my God, like, look at these comments. The comments, oh my God, how are the Muslims that are supporting you not telling you that this is false? How are you? Look at this top comment. You're speaking a language called facts. 30,000 likes just on this top comment. This is a Muslim woman with a hijab saying, sadly, shows like, I don't know what this is. Okay. Ya Allah, bless this young lady and give her the best partner and Jannah. Jannah means heaven in hereafter. This one got 14,000 likes. This lady who doesn't have hijab either says, finally someone said it. As the wife of a Muslim, you are, oh my God. Guys, my English is not my first language. How do English, native speaking English people can't tell the difference between your and your? This is your 100% spot on. She has a 100%, like, this is, oh my, is this possessive? How are you getting this wrong? How are you getting this, like, how is this? Is so simple. Oh my God. Okay, so you're 100% spot on. I think she meant you are, but she used the possessive your. This is a British woman, and she doesn't know how to speak English, write English. This other person says this is what an educated person looks like. Oh, by the way, that woman said with the Muslim husband said got 14,000 likes. Oh, guys, purple pulp. These are not bots. These are not bots. You're delusional. These are real people. What are you talking about? These are real people. Again, I'm not gonna show these people because this could get me off. No, these are real people. Here, so let's look at this one. Maria Mock is saying, loving this young generation. All right. So you think Maria Mock is fake? You can see here from a long time ago, she has pictures of her dogs. This is Maria. This is Maria. These are bots. Are these bots? These are not bots. You guys, if you think these are bots, you're also ignoring the spread of this problem. Bots don't get likes like this. Bots don't have, again, anyways. Protect this girl at all costs, got 3,600 likes. Oh, so this is the person who's laughing at her, saying no violence, laughing. This one only got 200 likes. Okay, so this person, Salim, is saying, yes, guys, bots are not so relevant to the, like, if you should be able to tell the difference between bot comments and real comments by now, guys. Salim is saying there are about 2,867 languages, yet this beautiful woman choose to speak facts. So this person is saying, as a Muslim, your words in this video inspired me a lot to be better Muslim day by day. So this woman is saying educated queen. Anyway, so you see, it goes on and on. Even though she's saying something so obvious that Muslims promote monogamy. Did anybody mention monogamy in the comments? No. Open-minded, young, gorgeous, and truthful queen. This lady is well educated. This young generations are amazing. You're a clever woman. Guys, if you actually go look at the profile of these people, these are real people. So let's listen to the rest of it.
Tell me, would you like that as a woman? Or would you prefer to keep doing what you've been doing forever? Muslims are clean. It would be a clean country. Great hygiene.
Okay, I'm not even going to dispute that. Sure, Muslims are clean. Sure, they're clean. Okay, I'm not even going to dispute that. What are you saying, that non-Muslims are not clean? How is this not bigotry against non-Muslims? Okay, are non-Muslim people not clean?
If more Muslims keep growing in your neighborhood? Or would you prefer to live with your neighbours who have a wheelie bin full of beer cans every weekend? Is that what you want? To keep Britain being about British?
You're reducing British values to beer cans? Guys, if you speak like this about Muslims, they will call you a bigot. If you speak like this about Muslims, they will call you a bigot. She's reducing British values to beer cans.
Did you know white people can be Muslim? Did you know that terrorism has nothing to do with Islam itself?
I don't even know what to do. I don't even know. This woman is clueless. I have some videos of her talking about the way she reads the Quran, which I don't think I will get to today. Guys, let me know if you want me to review more videos of this woman, because if there's so much nonsense, I'm not going to be able to get to the rest of them. Yeah.
It isn't Islamic, and you're not a Muslim if you do that sort of shit.
You're not a Muslim if you do what? Jihad, which is mandated by the Quran. The Quran mandates you doing jihad. And yet jihad is violent struggle. The Quran talks about jihad only as an act of terror and violence. And it mandates it.
Stuff that the newspapers report on to give us a really bad...
Again, if she says that this has nothing to do with Muslims, I will adjust what she's saying and be like, yeah, many Muslims are not violent. But she's talking about Islam. She talks about Islam. Islam mandates it. Not only she's like, oh, if you do that, you're no longer a Muslim. Read the Quran, lady. The Quran clearly says, if you do these things and die, you're going to be rewarded with the best place in heaven. And even if you don't die, you're still going to get rewarded. Maybe not the best place in heaven, but because you did jihad, you're going to get so much rewards for that. The Quran says that.
On to give us a really bad view of Islam. All Muslims would agree that these.
Well, it's the media. The media is lying to you guys, not the Quran itself. Read the Quran. Forget the media. Just read the Quran. I mean, she read the Quran, but obviously she's just changed everything. She has a video talking about how it has been mistranslated. The Quran has been mistranslated. Let me know if you want me to review that video, because a lot of people say that the Quran tells you, like, oh yeah, go and chop off their hands, chop off their feet, crucify them, kill the non-believers. And this woman is like, oh yeah, they have misinterpreted that. They have mistranslated that. A lot of people say that. I want to respond to that. Let me know if that would be a good video.
Shit, the stuff that the newspapers report on to give us a really bad view of Islam. All Muslims would agree that these terrorists are not Muslim. They are not practicing the faith. You and we have all been brainwashed by British propaganda, BBC, British shitting company.
British propaganda is anti-Muslims, guys. That's, oh my god. BBC makes all the excuses. What are you talking about? The stuff that you're saying is what BBC says as well. Oh my god. BBC calls people like me or anybody who speaks against Islam far right. You're delusional. What? Let me actually research this. Oh my god. Where is lady? Where does she? Okay, I'm gonna do some research. Let's continue.
That's what it stands for. Your children would be safe.
What are these laughter in the middle? I think she's thinking, like, I'm probably not annoying people enough. Let me just be more annoying. Yes, she is. People are saying, is she with a Muslim? No, she is a Muslim. She has converted to Islam. She's Muslim. She says that in her other videos. She's a revert. I mean, they call themselves reverts.
That's what it stands for. Your children would be safer in a highly populated Muslim area. Or are you still under the illusion that white non-Muslim people don't do violent things towards people and children and wives and girlfriends and friends and sisters and mothers?
Wait, what?
Company. That's what it stands for. Your children would be safer in a highly populated Muslim area.
Well, that's not true at all. That's not true at all. Like in the UK, we have statistics that shows that that's not true. Like, what are you talking about? Even the police who was trying to hide this in the UK came out and be like, "Yep, okay, so this is too much. We have to accept this." Like for years, the police in the UK has been trying to hide this, and now eventually they came out and be like, "Okay, you know what? Fuck it. This is actually true." And the new data shows that what we have been saying for all this time was true.
Or are you still under the illusion that white non-Muslim people don't do violent things towards?
Who said that? This is a straw man. Who said white non-Muslim people don't commit violence? Has anybody, guys? The people who are anti-Islam in the live chat, have you ever claimed that? Oh yeah, Islam is so bad, but the other side, non-Muslims, white non-Muslims commit zero violence. They're just like 100% good people. Never do any harm to anybody ever. So Muslims do all the harm, and non-Muslims, they're just pure. They're just absolute pure, flawless human beings that commit no violence ever at all. Is that the claim that people make? Because if that's the claim that people make, then I'm on her side. Yeah, sure. That's not true. Okay, non-Muslims do commit violence. What are you responding to? Who's making this claim that non-Muslims commit no violence? The claim is that on averages, Muslims on average commit more violence. It's not that they commit all the violence and the other side commits no violence. Oh my God.
people and children and wives and girlfriends and friends and sisters and mothers.
Wait, what? Sisters and mothers and what?
That white non-Muslim people don't do violent things towards people and children and wives and girlfriends and friends and sisters and mothers. That godless men don't produce violence in this society. Open your mind.
Open your mind. That last at the very sentence at the very that does claim at the very end is insane. Open your mind, guys. Just open your mind. Open your mind so much that your brain will fall out of your skull. How about that? Like her. Wow, guys, you have to see the level of support she's getting. And let me see one of these comments. More of these comments. So many people. So you just so clear with this. Oh, and so guys, this has a part 2. This was part 1. There's a part 2 to this. It's already an hour, so I'm not going to do part 2 right now, but I'm going to do part 2 on another stream. Let me know if you guys mention in the comments that you want me to continue with this lady. So this person is saying, love this. You are very knowledgeable. Helena, who seems like a hijabi white woman, says, I don't get anything. Oh, wait. I don't get anything you said. Something about my religion. Distracted by your eyes. They're gorgeous. Okay. Very smart. So, yeah. Lower your gaze, sister. Lower your gaze. You're sinning. I'm kidding. Kate is saying, very smart little girl and pure personality in all Western communities. I see here, oh Allah, guide us and guide this beautiful heart little girl. Yeah, guys, the people who are saying that these are bots, you have no idea, right? So the bots, I know their AI is getting smarter, but so far we don't have like a lot of bots screening the image, looking at her blue eyes, creating a bot that also has hijabi on it, and making accounts that has a history of activity and posting their personal lives. Yeah, like look at this. This lady you can see as a history. Oh yeah, so she seems like an Asian, semi hijabi, sometimes not Muslim woman, right? So yeah, are these bots? Sure. And this person, giving the comment exactly relevant to what was said in the videos. Bots are not this advanced yet. This woman is saying, well said. She's so straightforward and accurate. 100% agreed. By the way, you have beautiful eyes. Keep up the good work. I think that her blue eyes is doing a lot of the work for her views, by the way. I was saying it's all about your personal relationship between you and your creator, living cleanly. Okay, so this person is saying facts. Protect this woman at all costs. MashaAllah. How do you know about Muslims so much? Wow, how do you know so much? If you say good things about Muslims, that shows that you're knowledgeable. Oh, here, this is another person not knowing the difference between different kinds of you're. You're a beautiful person, mashallah. I mean, is this a British woman? I can't tell. You're a beautiful person, mashallah. I don't even know what this means. If you are, thank you for. If you cannot tell the difference between a possessed, your that is referring to something that you possess, and your that is you are, just don't write you are. Just write you are. Make it easy on yourself. Make it easier for yourself. This person saying, thank you for your transparency and the truth. How beautiful this world would be if all women had a brilliant mindset like you. The start of this video made me mad, but kept watching, and it's actually accurate, 100% facts. The world would be better. Jeez, this goes, by the way, this keeps going, by the way. These are 13,000 comments. 13,000 comments of support. There was one person who didn't support. You are a queen. May Allah give you much more hidayat. Hidayat means guidance towards Islam, and bless you always. Anyways, that was a lot of insanity. Let me read the super chats and then read the comments that Alfred has highlighted. Sid is saying, oh, I already read this one. Oh, no, I have it. Thank you so much for the super chat, Sid. Sid is saying Islam claims to be pro-black, but they never use any black person for marketing. They only do it when it is some famous black sports person. Okay, so Sid, you're making the same mistake as what I mentioned at the beginning of this video. We have Islam and we have Muslims. Okay, what Muslims do, whether good or bad, might not reflect Islam. Many bad things Muslims do does reflect Islam. Many bad things Muslims do does not reflect Islam. However, nothing good Muslims do reflect Islam. Okay, so this is key. Okay, there are many bad things some Muslims do that comes from Islam. There are many bad things Muslims do that does not come from Islam. Right? We have to be clear about that. But I make the claim that there's nothing good Muslims do. Muslims do a lot of good things. Muslims do a lot of good things. But there's nothing good Muslims do that comes from Islam. I make that claim. That's a very bold claim. That's a very absolute claim. So I have to. You could anybody who wants to challenge on me on this, come challenge me because I'm making an absolute claim. Absolute claims are hard to defend. So this bad thing that you're mentioning, Sid, is something that does not come from Islam. Do Muslims do a lot of bad things that come from Islam? Yes, but this one, it doesn't come from Islam. This is something just that might be, just your common racism, right? But yes, people saying I agree, seconded, right? If anybody could challenge me on this, challenge me, come and challenge me. Show me one, and there's a good reason why I'm making this absolute claim. This is a philosophical claim based on moral philosophy in general, right? So yeah, come at me with this, with one example of one good thing that Muslims do. Again, I'm not claiming Muslims don't do good things. Muslims do many good things, but it's not because of Islam. It's because of their own humanity. Angie is saying, I don't know what to say. Thank you for showing the ignorance, I think you mean. Thank you, Angie. And thank you for the support. Thank you for the super chat. Guys, let me know if you want me to go. Again, I had 4 videos. I was right at the beginning. I'm not going to be able to finish all the rest. But if this was enjoyable or educational, let me know that I should do the rest of them. And well, I will see how much how many people like the stream. So I'll use that as to evaluate whether I should continue with this one. Saying Muslims are the great defenders of multiculturalism, democracy, secularism when they are in a minority. They are always fighting fascism, racism, lol. Well, we shouldn't say Muslims because we don't want to generalize, but on average, it's true. When you don't have the power, you support policies that will include you. But as soon as you have the upper hand, you're going to be for a monogamous, for what is it called? For a homogenous, that's what I was. A homogenous community of one culture, and one set of values, which is Islamic values, right? So thank you for that. Let me actually see if I can respond to the other comments. There's a lot of comments, so don't start any other comments unless there's a super chat. So Levantic saying, is it because of who they have ruled over? So, this is responding to the first question. Beyond just sexual fascination with white women, why is it that when white people convert to Islam, Muslims get a lot more excited? This is not something found within Islamic foundation, like within the Quran or the Hadith. This is more in line with recent history because of the inferiority complex the Ummah, the Muslim community, has towards the Western world, the superpowers of the world, which has been European and North American countries. They see themselves as below them. They see themselves as weak, and they're having a crisis of identity. So if you manage to get white woman, which is a reflection, possessing of the greatest treasure of this superior. So if you manage to get their woman to your side, is basically they see that as a reversal of this inferiority. The fact that white, I don't know, blue-eyed, blonde-haired woman will come to Islam shows that inferiority is over. That if you manage to get their woman, if you manage to convince their woman to come on the side and possess their woman, that is the end of this inferiority. That shows that they're now they have the upper hand, that they're taking your most valuable position, and now that's theirs. And whiteness and white people is just a reflection of this global empire and power that they had that they were living under their boots of, right? And now that's over. So it's basically an undoing of that inferiority complex. So let me read this one. Denisha. Oh, I love this name, by the way. Every time I read your name, it's beautiful. I wrote it down somewhere so I could maybe, I don't know, maybe if I have a daughter or something, I will use it. Denisha is there's definitely a fetish for white women in Islam. True. And also she was saying chicken for KFC. Yes, women supporting Islam is like chicken for KFC. Shahban is saying, as a Muslim myself, I don't claim this British woman who is attempting to promote Islam. She does not even follow Islamic rules herself. Well, I mean, technically, that's not how Islam works, Shahban. You don't become a Muslim if another Muslim claims you. Okay? You become a Muslim if you believe, even if you're not following Islamic rules, you're still technically a Muslim if you believe in Allah, right? If you believe in Muhammad as his prophet, I'm trying to be more exclusive by not saying final, and the Quran as his revelation. But also Islamically, there's another condition as well. If you do not deny Allah's commandments, so if you don't follow Allah's commands, you're still a Muslim. But if you deny Allah's command, you're not a Muslim. Well, technically, she did deny Allah's commands, right? So again, Muslim has two different definitions. One, the way the world uses it and refers to people who are Muslim, and another one based on Islamic scholars. So based on the way the world uses the word Muslim, she's still a Muslim. But based on Islamic scholarship, if she denies that certain things are a sin, then even she will leave the fold of Islam, and she's no longer a Muslim. So I use two different definitions of who a Muslim is. Yeah. So if for example, if you don't wear the hijab like she doesn't, that doesn't mean you're not a Muslim. That just means you're a Muslim who's sinning. But if you don't wear the hijab and say this is not required in Islam, that claim that this is not required in Islam will take you out of the fold of Islam, and people and an Islamic scholar can takfir you. So and you cannot takfir her because you're not an Islamic scholar, but an Islamic scholar can come and takfir her and announce that she's not a Muslim. Raven is saying maybe she is drink Zamzam water, LOL, and she has, I think. She's crazy delusional. I vote we ship her to Muslim country where she wants to live. She doesn't want to live in a Muslim country. What are you guys talking about? Guys, this is not a helpful response. I mean, if I was a Muslim, let me tell you guys. So she wants to make UK have more Islamic values. It seems like that's what she wants. She doesn't want to leave UK. I do not vote along with you. I think people should be able to, if you're a UK citizen, you should be able to live in the UK. We don't ship people. I know you were joking, but I'm going to take it seriously, even though it was a joke. I also think that if I was a Muslim and I wanted to take Islam seriously, I will go to live in non-Islamic countries. The responsible thing to do as a non-Muslim, if Islam is true, like the insanity that Islam is, I would have to come to the conclusion that the best place to live is where we have less Islam, so I can spread Islam. Okay, that's a long comment, so I'm going to go to this one. Amit Chai is saying Muslims don't like violence unless it comes to Jews, Christians, minorities, apostates, LGBT, and women. Again, guys, don't make general claims. It's not Muslims. We have many different kinds of Muslims. It's Islam. Islam is obviously pro-violence against these communities that you mentioned. Muslims, we have many different kinds of Muslims. Some of them cannot even imagine violence. Some of them are extremely violent. On average, there's more violence in Islamic communities than other communities, than many other communities. That's true. But again, we cannot make a claim about all Muslims, right? We have to be careful with what claims that we're making so that we could support them, right? If we make claims that are so easily debunked, then we're not going to have the upper hand. If you say like Muslims love violence, you made a general claim about all Muslims. I could just destroy your claim by showing you one single Muslim that does not like violence. Then you're ruined. Your argument is debunked. So don't make general claims about all entire groups of people. Jack is saying congratulations for 59,000 subscribers. Well, thank you guys. We're so close to 60. Please make sure you subscribe. I think the way I talk about these things is very responsible, right? So a lot of other anti-Islamic channels, some of them are very good, but a lot of them are not this careful about how we attack Islam. We should attack Islam, but we should make claims that are easily defendable. And I think we do the responsible thing on this channel to teach you how to fight Islam, but do it in a way that your position can be that in a way that your position is solid, that cannot be knocked down easily. So this channel teaches you how to fight Islam effectively. So please subscribe here if you want to be a soldier in this ideological battle, because we're at war, guys. We're at war, and this is a war that governments will refuse to fight because it's an ideological war, right? So this is not just a military battle. This is not a border. This is not an immigration battle. This is not a military battle. This is an ideological battle. And to win it, you have to be equipped with the right arguments. Your arguments are your weapons, and you need to be equipped with the right arguments. And we have them here on this channel. So if you want to be equipped, if you want to have the right weapons, subscribe here and just watch these shows, and you're going to be very effective soldiers against the spread of Islamic disease. So make sure you follow our shows, because these are the best arguments on this channel, and you need them. This is a huge attack on Western civilization, and we need to defend it. And we give you the tools here. So thank you. Let's get to 100K soon. Nope is saying the whole your thing is a great way to find out quickly if you're talking to a foreigner or a dummy English. Well, I mean, there's nothing wrong with being a foreigner. And if you're a foreigner and you mix your, it's completely understandable. Okay, if English is not your mother tongue, it's not your native language, and you mix these two, nobody should be able to, make fun of you. But if you are born in the UK or the US or Canada and you have gone through 12 years of education, okay, at least, and been right. I mean, I'm assuming that in school you have been writing essays, you have been handing in reports to your teacher. All of the time you have been reading books in school, and after all of that, if you're still mixing these two, then I don't know what's wrong with you. Like, are you even trying? Like, why? How could you miss that? How could you miss that? How could you, like, after 12 years, after minimum of 12 years of writing reports and essays and reading books in school, you still haven't understood the difference between these two? Like, I'm not even going to insult you or make fun of you. I'm just curious I'm not making fun of you. Okay. People can be stupid. It's okay. It's not okay, but it's the thing. How? I'm just wondering out loud, how is that possible? Anyways, guys, alhamdulillah, we finished the show. We went a little bit over time. I have 3 more videos. I will see how the reception of this first one, and if it was good, I'll continue with the other 3. And if it's not so good, I will move on to something else. Okay? So if you like this, make sure you like the stream so that I get encouraged to do more of this. Anyways, guys, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit the bell notification. The subscribe is not good enough. You have to hit the bell notification so when we go live, it tells you that we have gone live. Make sure that once the show is over, you leave a comment. The comments boost the algorithm. It makes this channel grow faster. And make sure, most importantly, all of this is free. It requires no financial cost investment from your side. You could tell your friends and your enemies, especially your enemies, okay, to come subscribe to Atheist Republic and follow our shows. Tell Muslims or leftist Westerners who make excuses for Islam to come and join the live chat here and tell me why I'm wrong. Alfred is here. Alfred will highlight the comments that are disagreeing with me so that I could read them during the show. Okay? Bring more people who disagree with us in the live chat. All right, guys. Till next show. Bye.